What's going on, guys? We're going to go over some of the meta skill moves, the new ones, and all dribbling styles in FC25. There's some real meta skill moves, including one that I think all the top tier pro players are going to be using because of how effective it is to turn into an angle. Let's go straight into it. So the first one I want to go over is called the Big Feint. 2-star skill move, very simple to do. You hold the L2 button, you flick the right analog stick to the player's left or to the player's right, and you get this big kind of feint movement. Now, by itself in its entirety, I don't think the skill move is amazing, but the key is using it and then exiting into an area. So let's say, for example, if I'm moving from left to right, I can use like this, and then I take a touch away. So it can be used, for example, inside the box. And then you take that touch to get that angle. I don't really see it being used any other way. I just think it's just too much of a big movement, but it can be used in some situations, and it kind of feels like you get a speed boost. I might have to analyze this a bit more in detail. 2-star skill move, very simple. Now the next one is a stop and go. Now this is actually a really good skill move. So you hold the L2 button and you move the right stick backwards and then forwards, and you get this stop and go animation. Now this skill move you can cancel, so you can technically cancel it. So it actually gives you that unique movement. So you're watching this and you're really going for the higher ranks. If you cancel it, you can create some unique movements because of the way that it works. Now, we know left stick dribbling is bad this year, but you could do a shimmy where you go one way and you go backwards. You see that? Like I'm trying to create a shimmy. You see that? And depending on how quickly you move it, you can get these. You see that small stutters in animation, that small movement. You see that? That small movement. This is what the top tier players do to kind of bait players, bait goalkeepers. It's like you're forcing one way, they go another way. So this is actually a good kind of benefit. So if you're struggling with a bad connection, you can do it like that. And I see this to be used down the wing. Have a look at this example over here where you're running. You're trying to trick your opponent. You're thinking that you're going to go on the inside, and you want your player to kind of shift a little bit to the left. So you slow down, and then you keep going down the wing. So it's kind of like a shimmy that you can use. 2-star skill move, anyone can do it. Okay, now next one I think is what a lot of top tier players will be using. It's not the best skill move out of the new ones, but what you want to do is you want to hold the L1 button, and you know how you do an elastico, which is basically you go from 12 to 6. You want to hold the L1 button and go from 12 all the way to 6, like that. You see that? Or 6 to 12. You can do it both ways, okay? It's like this, but you want to do it quickly. If you do it slow, it won't work. So you want to hold the L1 button, and you want to move your right analog stick from here all the way behind you. So from the player's left to behind to right, or right behind to the player. So you can go either way. So you can go like this way if you want to, or you can go this way. You can slow down the video if you want to see it. Now, why I think this is very interesting is because it's a step over, but it also gives that speed boost. So I can imagine it being used down the wing, for example, and giving yourself that speed boost inside the box. It's actually a very effective skill move. Then we're going to go over the last one. I think the one that the pro players are going to be using the most. It's called a step over ball. Very effective. You hold the L1 button, you flick the RS forward and then down, or forward and then up. So you can exit to the player's left or to the player's right. So watch. I'm going to go to the forward and then to the player's left. Now you might be thinking, well, this is not useful, but trust me, it is, because you might be thinking, oh, where would you use it? But imagine if you're using it over here down the wing and you use it to cut inside. So imagine if you're running towards goal here. This is why I think a lot of the top tier pro players are going to be using it, like at this angle over here, going like this, and then, for example, trying to cut in, and then you can open yourself up for the finesse shot. So this is where I would see it being used, is like, for example, like you're going away from goal like this, then you can turn yourself in like that. Also, vertically, this skill move is very good. Imagine you get the ball and your opponent's in front of you and you can't break through, where you can kind of turn around like that and face towards goal. And the best thing is with this one as well, is you can cancel it. So you can actually cancel the skill move and give yourself some sort of speed boost. You didn't hear that from me, but it can be very effective. So if you trick your opponent and you know what you're doing, you can cancel it and kind of reverse the other way if you use it a lot. I think it's probably one of the most best skill moves. I think that I don't use skill moves that much, but I think it's very effective. I mean, you saw from some of the examples that I put out as well. Do you want to get better at FC25? Now, before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you joined my FC school and you didn't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say this because I've been running my FC school for many years, and thousands of students join and even stay on. We go over complete in-depth gameplay tutorials showing you both the theory of something and the gameplay examples using real-life examples in a structured format that's like a course. The videos are on a systematic learning system teaching you everything from the core mechanics, the basics, to the meta, so you can get better as a whole, with explanations that go beyond the scope of my YouTube channel. FC School has already started with every single tactical layout, focuses, meta cards, and learn the meta before it even becomes the meta. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better at FC25, patreon.com/nilguides, or click the link down below. Now, when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos, more than my YouTube channel, in fact, with new videos on FC25 getting constantly added so you'll never run out of content. The biggest mistake people do is they spend thousands of dollars on FP points every year thinking this will make them better, but it won't. But now it's time for you to make that change. Don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, just send me a message and I'll refund your money. That's the Nil Guides guarantee. Links down below in the description, patreon.com/Nil Guides. Now, a few things as well. They've changed the drag turns. You might be thinking, okay, what do you do with the drag turn? They've changed it. They made it a bit more responsive. They've also, the drag back spin has been moved to L2, flick the RS forward and then to the player's left or to the player's right. So you're wondering where that control has gone. That's gone there. They've added a new flare animation for the 180 degrees flare. So hold L1 button, L1, R1 and direction. So they've added a new one apparently, the 180. So apparently this is the new animation they've added. I can imagine using that inside the box to cut inside. Let's say you're running like diagonally inside the box like this and you need to kind of go backwards. This could be one to give yourself the angle. Now, what about the dribbling types? Because they've made some changes to dribbling as well. So first of all, they got rid of that garbage orbit dribbling. So orbit dribbling, you just run around the ball. They got rid of that, so you can't do that orbit dribbling anymore. Thank the Lord, because I thought that was a waste of time. Now, strafe dribbling, L1. Now, this is very, very effective at the moment to hold the L1 button and then use the speed boost like that to get into an exit speed. Now, I've got a video on this on the Patreon, which goes in more detail. But you want to basically slow your opponent down, go one way or go backwards, and then speed boost into the area. Especially if you've got the quick step playstyle, it works even better. So holding the L1 button, giving yourself that angle, and then speed boosting into the region. Very, very effective. It's probably the meta. It's been the meta since the beta, to be honest. But it's just very, very effective at getting forward. Now, what I would say is the strafe in general has been nerfed. So if you use a strafe to run backwards a lot, it's much easier for your opponent to get the ball. But in these situations, for example, where you can use it to slow your opponent down and speed boost into an angle, look at the speed boost there. It's actually incredible. Now, strafe dribbling as well, it's still very, very effective. L2 and L2 and R1, should I say? This is the control like this. Very, 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 still very effective. I would say mainly to be used inside the box for that zigzag movements. I can't say I'll be using it as much, but very, very effective if you know how to use it inside the box. Now, left stick dribbling is very clunky. I don't know what everyone keeps saying left stick is good. I don't know what game they're playing. Left stick feels very clunky. It feels better in this arena, but in Ultimate Team, it just feels very, very clunky. Like the players, they don't really move. Or I feel like when you have the left stick, ever find that you're losing possession much more? I feel like the players, they're not really in full control over the ball compared to what I'm seeing in the arena over here. But yeah, it's just, even when I did a flicking motion, my one, it's not the same. Like I just don't feel it's responsive. You can see like it's not as responsive as it should be. The controlled sprint is still very, very effective, by the way. Mainly, for example, if you're using the sprint button, then use the control sprint to get into an angle. And you change between them. So let's say you want to slow down a little bit to beat the goalkeeper. So let's say you're running and you want to beat the goalkeeper. You can use the control sprint to slow down and, for example, beat the goalkeeper or the player. Or let's say there's a gap between two players. Let's say the penalty arc is a gap. I can go like that and turn into it. So I think tapping the controlled sprint is actually very, very good. So look, so it's kind of like that. See that? That's small subtle movements. That's what I think is very, very effective. And also a combination of this, and you can really get some unique movements. It's using a strafe also, and using the controlled sprint, and combining it all together can be very, very effective. But that is just a top skill move. Just remember this one. It is very, very effective. You can cancel it as well. It's just unbelievable, because the reason why I like using it is because I can just go like this, get into the box, and then take a shot. But if I was to keep using it, let's say my opponent knows I'm going to do that, I can just go, oh, okay, I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to cancel it as well and then go back the other way. So I can pretend to go that way and then just go around. So anyways, that's the top skill moves inside the game, including new dribbling styles. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.